Hi friends, Christine McKinley here with the Orlando Real Estate Chicks, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down everything related to Seminole County. So maybe you are thinking about moving to Oviedo, you're thinking about moving to Winter Springs, and you're like, wait a second, what is in the general vicinity? What is up with Seminole County and why is it popping up on so many of my, where should I live in Central Florida? Well, Seminole County is very popular and I'm gonna tell you why. So in this video, we're gonna go over neighborhoods, taxes, home prices, schools, just like the vibe of Seminole County, and you're gonna know a lot about Seminole County and you're gonna feel really prepared to make a decision on whether Seminole County is going to be your new home or not. So what is Seminole County and where is Seminole County? Seminole County is a few incorporated areas and a few unincorporated areas. So incorporated Seminole County is going to be Sanford, Altamonte Springs, Casselberry, Lake Mary, Longwood, Oviedo, Winter Springs, and I think that's it. The unincorporated areas is going to be Heathrow, Chiliota, Geneva, Fern Park, which is right next to Casselberry, super popular with buyers who want some space. Seminole County is northeast Orlando. I always have to think about that. I'm like north, towards the beach, east. And it is bordering Volusia County and Lake counties and, also Orange counties. So you're so close to everything. You're still really close to downtown Orlando, but just without the chaos of all of it. And Seminole County, maybe you've done some research on Seminole County versus Orange County. They are completely different. For starters, Seminole County is so much smaller. And I just feel like it's more of a tight-knit community. I feel like you're if you live in Seminole County, you don't really want to move out of Seminole County. Let's say you want to move out of Oviedo, you're still not moving out of Seminole County. So I don't know. It's just a different vibe. Seminole County is very clean, nicer lots, bigger spaces. It's more of a planned out community, I think, than most of Orange County. Orange County can have some older and smaller lots, and Seminole County is a little bit newer and smaller and just family friendly and more tight knit. But I can go on a whole different video about the differences between Orange County and Seminole County, but that's just a general breakdown because we have a lot to get to today in this video. So let me get to it. Seminole County has about 481,000 people that live in it. So big, but not insanely huge. We're not talking about the size of Orange County again. That's way bigger. And the number one reason why people move to Seminole County is for the schools. Seminole County Public Schools is rated the number one public school district in all of Central Florida. So if you have looked into best places to live in Central Florida and your school zones is the number one important, then Seminole County, Oviedo, Winter Springs has definitely been on your radar. It's also ranked number one in STEM education, and I don't know what that is. You're gonna have to look that up, but I've heard that it's amazing. Okay, I've heard that it's amazing. For the 2026 school year, there are 74 public schools that are serving 61,000 students. Seminole County schools have an average math proficiency of 60, and Seminole County schools have a average rating of 9 out of 10, which is incredible, placing them in the top 20% of Florida public schools. Top rated individual schools to name drop is Heathrow Elementary, Choices and Learning Center, Seminole Science Charter School, Oviedo High, Lake Mary High School, and Haggerty High School. So right there, you guys know I'm kind of an Oviedo fan. If you look at any of my YouTube channel, there's so much information about Oviedo because I was raised in Oviedo. But right there, you can see that 2 out of the 5 top high schools, or just schools in general, is Oviedo high schools. That's why they're named number one just year after year. However, school zoning really matters neighborhood by neighborhood. You could be in one neighborhood and right next door is your neighboring neighborhood and you're in a completely different school district. So that's why it's really, really important to be working with an agent that is hyper local and not just relying on what the MLS says, really knows these school zones. So if you are moving to Seminole County for the schools and you need a certain pocket or you need a certain school zone, scan this QR code and let's get connected and let's talk about what you guys need in moving to Seminole County or Oviedo. Now I'm gonna go through each city, and this is just a general observation that I've found from living in the area for over 20 years. And I am going to break down each individual city. And again, this is mostly my opinion, but I'm also going to bring out some facts here. So first of all, I'm going to start with Altamonte Springs. This is the most affordable entry point to Seminole County. This is located about 11 miles north of Orlando, and Altamonte's biggest, I don't know if you want to call it like an attraction, but its biggest thing is Crane's Roost Park. Crane's Roost Park is pretty cool. It's a man-made lake that has like a whole walking trail around it. It feels very urban, like I-4. You can see I-4 from Crane's Roost Park. It's not like a nature trail by any means. It's definitely like an urban trail, and they do Red Hot and Boom here, which is like a huge 4th of July thing, and they do it every year at Crane's Roost Park. So it's just a cool spot. Also, when I think about Altamonte Springs, I think about the Altamonte Springs Mall, because I feel like malls are kind of like dying, you know what I mean? Like everyone orders everything on Amazon. So the Altamonte Mall is huge. It has a Mac store. I mean, it has everything you want. I was just gonna say it might have Dillard's, but I feel like Dillard's is a thing of the past or something. But it has a lot of really great department stores. So yeah, the Altamonte Mall is probably like the best mall, and I would say that's where like everyone goes if they want to go to a mall, but I don't even know if that's like a good thing to say anymore, because I don't know if malls are, I can't remember the last time I've been to one. The other thing I think about when I think about Altamonte Springs is they have a really great Advent Health hospital. This has an emergency section, a full hospital, and I would say that this is one of the most highly rated Advent Health hospitals. So that's something that's really great. And I would say that Altamonte Springs is best for the buyers who want to be like a little bit more price conscious, but they still want to live in Seminole County. It's also the most west city in Seminole County, so you're closest to I-4, which is really, really nice. So if you're someone that you want to live in Seminole County because you just have your heart set on Seminole County, I mean, there's a million reasons to settle on Seminole County, but you work downtown, or maybe you work in like Davenport or something like that, like something off I-4, I think that this would be a really good part of town for you. And it's really easy to get everywhere. There's like a few major roads that go right through the middle of Altamonte Springs, so you can just get anywhere very quickly also. Next, I'll talk about Casselberry. Casselberry is about 30,000 residents. It's surrounded by many lakes, including Lake Howell, Lake Concord, and it is a mix of like established residential neighborhoods and convenient access to both Seminole and Orange County. Because even though Altamonte is super close to, it's on the west side, so even though it's super close to Orange County, Casselberry is kind of right there tucked in with it, so you can get to a lot. Casselberry has really cool courses. What am I trying to say? Yeah, golf courses, and it's just nice. It's kind of small, you know, like if you live in Casselberry, you're like, oh yeah, I live in Casselberry, but I'm right on the edge of Maitland, or I'm in Casselberry, but I'm right across the street from Winter Springs. So Casselberry is pretty small. It's not super big like Oviedo or something like that, and so it's just easy to get everywhere. I live really close to Casselberry, and yeah, I like drive through Casselberry in 5 minutes. So, but it's a good pocket, and I would also say it's probably similar affordability to Altamonte Springs, maybe a little notch higher, just because it's closer to Winter Springs, it's closer to Oviedo, but super central to get to, and just a really great location, I think. Next, I'll talk about Lake Mary. So Lake Mary has emerged as one of the premier business centers in Central Florida. This has the Heathrow International Business Center, major employers like AAA, Faro Technologies. They have significant operations in Lake Mary. So Lake Mary, I also think of like banks, and just like they have like this huge building, I think of what it's called right now. It's like International something, but it's kind of like right near Lake Mary's downtown. And I'm there all the time for like various business things, not just real estate related things. So it kind of has like this corporate corridor feel. It's great for buyers who are relocating for work. Tons of job opportunities, great restaurants, great retail. Lake Mary is kind of like its own separate entity. I kind of forget that it's part of Seminole County, honestly, because it's much more north than Oviedo. I would say if you are getting on I-4, because it's kind of like how you can actually get to Lake Mary. It's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's very easy to get to, because I-4 runs to Lake Mary, and the 417 runs to Lake Mary. So super easy to get to, but you just have to cross over the Lake Jessup Bridge. So you have to cross over a whole Lake Monroe. So it's like north of Sanford. So it might feel a little bit more out there, but the prices are fantastic. Lake Mary is a very, very, very family friendly area. Tons of recreational spots. Like there are some fantastic tennis courts, soccer fields. I obviously don't play soccer. Great schools. If you're looking for like a gated community and that's like a non-negotiable for you, Lake Mary could be a really, really good pocket for you. And Lake Mary has an unincorporated Seminole County section called Heathrow. And it is within the Lake Mary zip code. It's actually a whole neighborhood. It's an upscale neighborhood. It's very, very popular with executives, doctors. The price point's higher. Heathrow does have some townhomes, but you're definitely going to be paying a hefty HOA fee because there's like its own tennis courts, its own golf course. So just a really, really great neighborhood, and it's man-gated. So there's no one breaking into that neighborhood. So I would say that Lake Mary is just best for professionals, dual income households, buyers that want walkable amenities. There's so much good to say about Lake Mary. So if you want to know more about Lake Mary, I can do a deeper dive into the city itself, maybe do a little tour. So drop a comment below if you want to know a little bit more about Lake Mary, because I don't think I've ever done a video about Lake Mary. Next up, let's talk about Longwood. Longwood is one of the oldest communities in the country. the county. It is charming. It's established, great neighborhoods, definitely older houses. I would say there's a strong value play. So you get a lot more house in Longwood than you would in like Lake Mary or Oviedo. And I would say it's best for buyers that want like a quiet area, a very community feel without sacrificing school quality. So a lot of Longwood is going to be zoned for Lyman High School, and it is a great high school. Again, just very established. A lot of Casselberry feeds into Lyman High School. A lot of Altamonte Springs feeds into Lyman High School. So that like Altamonte, Casselberry, Longwood area can really like morph together, because especially Longwood and Casselberry, I feel like they're just small. I feel like small little areas. And so they don't really keep to themselves. Whereas like Oviedo people really keep to themselves, because Oviedo just has everything. You don't have to leave Oviedo to get anywhere else. And of course, I'm going to touch on Oviedo, even though I have a million videos about it. So make sure to go back and look at some of the videos about Oviedo if you are really considering Oviedo. Oviedo has a population of about 42,000 people. It has transformed from an agricultural community to a thriving urban city. It has everything now. It really does. Anything that you would want, like in Winter Park. I remember growing up in Oviedo, we would go into Winter Park, like into town, to get, like specialty cakes or anything special, like a nice dinner. And now Oviedo has all of that. So all of the really nice retail that we used to go into Winter Park for, we no longer have to. But Oviedo does a really good job about blending this suburban life with rural charm, because it's right on the rural border. So, and it used to be an agricultural city. So there's like a number of people that are a little bit upset with how much Oviedo has grown. And that's just because they've been there for 100 years and they probably like raised cows on the land that you're interested in buying, but they'll be fine. A lot of people are appreciative of the growth, but it really just has grown so much. It is one of the hottest areas for families. And I would say some of the best neighborhoods in Oviedo are like Live Oak Reserve. I actually have a whole driving tour on Live Oak Reserve. Alafaya Woods is really, really popular, but it's a notch lower in price point than Live Oak. Similar communities like Little Creek, Twin Rivers. Oviedo has its own golf course, and Twin Rivers is built right around the golf course. So it's just stunning. It's like the ultimate Florida life. So if you're looking for like the lakes and the boating and the golf and the tennis, like Oviedo is just absolutely unmatched. So I have done a lot of videos on Oviedo, and I feel like I could talk about it forever, but I'll leave it there for now. It's gorgeous, and check out my other videos. Okay, so Sanford. Let's talk about Sanford. Sanford is definitely its own vibe. Downtown Sanford has experienced significant renovations. It is an entire like walkable historic district, brick buildings. It's beautiful. It kind of feels like you're in like Charleston with the brick buildings. It has amazing restaurants, craft breweries, boutique shops, and it's all along this road called First Street in downtown Sanford. So I would definitely check that out if you're ever coming into town. It's a really fun night out, really fun date night. And Sanford is awesome because it has the Orlando Sanford International Airport. I had no idea this was an international airport actually until I looked that up for this video, but it has a cute, tiny, amazingly easy security airport. You can literally walk from the parking garage to the ticketing counter in like 2 minutes. I think that the only commercial airline that goes out of this is Allegiant. If you have family like in the South or something like that, there's a lot of really great flights that are nonstop that you couldn't get nonstop out of the big Orlando International Airport. Again, this is just a tiny, tiny airport. It's not going to be your number one airport, but I will tell you what, it is so convenient if you can get a flight on Allegiant. It is insanely convenient. And I would say separate from Altamonte, Sanford, I'm like trying to be careful with how I say this. Sanford is going to be more affordable. It's not as financially well off as the other parts of Seminole County. This is definitely going to be the most affordable location in all of Seminole County, and it's best for buyers who are looking for character, value, and someone who wants that downtown feel without the Orlando prices. And last but not least, let's touch on Winter Springs. Winter Springs is a city. It's about 38,000 people. It's known for its well-maintained neighborhoods, parks, and the Seminole Cross Trail. It consistently ranks amongst the safest cities in Florida. And Winter Springs is right in the heart of Seminole County. I mean, right in the heart of it. And it butts up to Oviedo. So a lot of people who live in Winter Springs, they can quickly zip into Oviedo and vice versa for, different retail, different restaurants, all that good stuff. And Winter Springs is pretty big. Winter Springs has a Winter Springs High School. It has Central Winds Park. And Central Winds Park, just like Altamonte Springs Cranes Roost Park, it's like a lot of words right there. It is like the cultural hub for Winter Springs. That is where every festival happens. That's where every 4th of July happens. It butts up right to the high school. It has a dog park. It has multiple baseball fields, softball fields, soccer fields. I mean, beach volleyball, pavilions where you could do like a grill out. It is really, really nice. So if you're considering Winter Springs, definitely look into Central Winds Park. I have nothing bad to say about Winter Springs whatsoever. I don't have anything bad to say about any of Seminole County, actually. All right, so let's talk about home prices and what has happened in Seminole County in 2026. So as of early this year, the median sales price in Seminole County is around $395, which is down a little bit, down 5.7% from 2025, with average homes on the market for 63 days, which is pretty high, especially compared to like COVID times, but we were due for a little bit of a correction, so I'm not mad about that. Price range by city matters. I said earlier that Altamonte Springs is probably the most affordable. It's up there with Sanford, completely different vibe, but up there with Sanford. And Geneva tends to be the priciest in the entire county, and that's just because we have a lot of land in Geneva. You could be on like 10 acres, and acreage is a huge reason why prices are high in parts of Seminole County. I would also say that if you're just looking for like a traditional Florida home that's on like a quarter of an acre, Oviedo's probably going to be the highest price point. However, about 52% of homes that are listed in Seminole County have at least one price reduction, and the sale to list price ratio is sitting around 95%. So you definitely have some wiggle room whenever you're moving and you are writing your offers, which is really great. Now, the inventory is still higher than it's been in years. So sellers are negotiating, and your dollar definitely goes further right now than it has since probably 2020. So summer 26 will be a really great window for you to be writing offers and moving into Seminole County. Now let's talk about taxes, which I do get a lot of questions from my, especially California, especially New York, especially New Jersey people about taxes. We have no state income tax, which this is absolutely amazing for those who are relocating. Seminole County's effective property tax rate is about 0.89%, which is lower than the national median of 1.02%. The median annual property tax bill is around $3,000. So that is amazing. I love that for all my people who are relocating. Another really important thing that I want to touch on is the Florida homestead exemption. So this is something that only Florida offers. Well, I don't know if other states offer it, but I think that it's unique to Florida. It's called the homestead exemption, and it is for my people who are relocating. And if you purchase your primary residence, you get $50,000 off the taxable amount for your home for property taxes. So let's say you buy a $400,000 house in Seminole County, you only get taxed if you have filed for homestead on $350,000. Also, Florida homestead does a lot more than that. It helps you with legal protection. It helps you with so many things, but I would say financially, that's probably one of the biggest things. We also in Florida have something called Save Our Homes. And once your property is homesteaded, your assessed value can only increase 3% per year, regardless of market appreciation or whatever. And that's really, really big because in COVID, I'll say probably from like 2019 to today, property values in Oviedo actually doubled. So homesteading your property in Seminole County is huge in case anything like that happens again. And I have a feeling that if our governor does get away with eliminating all property taxes on homesteaded properties, our values are going to increase because that's really going to change some things. All right, now let's talk about why everyone moves to Seminole County besides schools, and that is just the recreational system that we have. We have the Cross Seminole Trail, we have the Seminole Wekiva Trail, we have the Reinhardt Road Trail, and these are all interconnected network for cycling and pedestrian use. We have incredible natural springs, lakes, river access. I mean, we just have so many outdoor recreation. And if you are moving into town to experience the ideal Florida life, Seminole County is absolutely it. I will say that this is one of the biggest benefits over Orange County. And yes, Orange County has outdoorsy things, but Seminole County has the best. We have the great econ. I mean, we have so many beautiful places. And actually, I did not look up the stats, but I know this for a fact, and I can put the stats in the comment, but I believe that there's something that says that like Seminole County has more parks per capita than any other county in Florida. Don't quote me. I'm going to double check that, and you can search for that in the comments. But just to go over a few of the parks, we have Wekiva Springs State Park. It's a spring that you can swim in. It's absolutely freezing, but that's perfect. You actually want that because in summer it's really, really hot, and you can rent kayaks, you can go for hikes. This is just beautiful. I think renting a kayak is super inexpensive. They have their own island called Wekiva Island, and that's privately owned, but it butts right up to the state park, and it is just so much fun. I think that they serve like beer and wine. I don't think that they have their liquor license, but you can get there and play cornhole. You can hang out on the dock and watch people kayak by you. People's dogs are jumping into the water. So it's just such a fun place. And I think that they do like little concerts and stuff. So it's absolutely incredible. There's also in Sanford, the Lake Monroe River Walk in Sanford. This is waterfront dining, weekend events, super fun. Of course, we have UCF, which we have incredible artists that are coming to UCF, comedy shows. Seminole County is still close to the theme parks, even though you're not in like the hustle and bustle of it all. It's still close to the theme parks. And it's a short drive to both coasts. You can get to Daytona, New Smyrna Beach in like an hour, and then you can get to Tampa Bay in 2 hours. I love the location of Seminole County. It's in the middle and like over a little bit. So it's like very central Florida. I mean, you really can't go wrong if you're looking for like outdoorsy things to do. If you want to have a more outdoorsy, active life, Seminole County is it. Lastly, let's talk about what employers and your commute might look like if you're moving to Seminole County. Major employers that are based in Seminole County, again, I kind of went over some from like the Lake Mary corridor earlier, but AAA, Mitsubishi Power Americas, Scholastic Book Fairs, Verizon is absolutely huge in Lake Mary, Charter Communications, the U.S. Delivery Center, and Faro Technologies are all located within Seminole County. And as far as commuting, whether you are, having to go into an office, you have easy access to I-4, easy access to 417. From I-4, you can get from Lake Mary to downtown in probably 25 minutes. And then to get to Lake Nona, if you are working like the medical industry or something, you can jump on the 417 from Oviedo. You can jump on the 417 from Winter Springs, Sanford, even parts of Lake Mary. So just super, super easy to get to. And of course, we have that Orlando Sanford International Airport. If you can get on one of those Allegiant flights, that will definitely reduce your travel time. Whenever you reach out to me and you're thinking about moving to the area, I always ask, like, where are you planning on living? Because this really changes where in Seminole County you can be. If you need to be closer to I-4, then I would suggest that Altamonte Springs, Casselberry. Seminole County has a little bit of Winter Park, but it's a different zip code than the Orange County, and then a little bit of Maitland, those but right up to I-4. So those would be absolutely fantastic. And then of course, if you want to be closer towards the beach or closer to 417 to make your commute easier, because you don't want to spend your whole life in your car. You know what I mean? We need to really think about these things whenever you're thinking about making a move. For those people, we get closer to the 417. And again, anywhere in Seminole County, especially that Oviedo, Winter Springs, Sanford, and Lake Mary, you are going to be very close to the 417. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that this was just the basic, absolute best intro to Seminole County you could ever want. We went over schools, we went over taxes, we went over Orange County versus Seminole County. We went over, again, no state income tax, lifestyles, school zones. We went over all of that. So if you're planning a summer 2026 move and you want someone who knows Seminole County, street by street, zip code by zip code, I am here. Reach out in this QR code and I would be happy to chat with you. Bye.